la sesión para quienes no están presentes. Okay, well, thank you for joining the class. This is our second week. And well, on today's lesson, we're going to review some tenses. But before we start with our lesson, I would like to make this exercise with you. Just like to review how we on the tenses, how are we on our conjugation of each of the verbs, right? So let me share my screen and let's see if we can make this exercise, okay? So we're going to change from the present tense to the past tense and to the participle tense, okay? So vamos a hacer este ejercicio para ver más o menos cómo, si nos acordamos sobre la conjugación de los verbos en presente, pasado y pasado participio. Okay. Before we start with a new tense or with a new subject. Okay. Which is the past of the verb be, of the verb to be? Does anyone know? Which is the past of the verb be, which is the first one that we have in this list? The past of the verb to be. Was or were, right? Depending of the person. Very good. And which is the past participle of the verb be?
Been.
Been, right? Oh, okay. Nos vamos a ir primero al pasado y después al pasado participio. Well, and then we have the verb begin, which is the past of the verb begin. It is began, right? Which is the past of the verb break?
Broke.
Broke, right? Very good. Which is the past of the verb bring? Bring. What does bring means in Spanish?
Traer.
Traer, very good. So which is the past of the verb bring?
Brought.
Brought, right? Very good. Which is the past of the verb build?
Built.
Build, right? It doesn't change. Good. Which is the past of the verb buy?
Bought.
Bought, right? Very good. Which is the past of the verb come?
Came.
Came, very good. Which is the past of the verb do?
Did.
Did, excellent. You did excellent. Which is the past of the verb draw?
Drew.
True, very good. Which is the past of the verb drink? That is the last one.
Drank.
Drank, right? Very good. Now let's go with the past participle. The past participle of the verb broke.
Broken.
Broken, very good. The past participle of the verb in past drew.
Drown.
Drawn, very good. The past participle of the verb bought in past.
Bought.
Bought, very good. Past participle of the verb began.
Began.
Begun with an
Begun.
very good.
Begun.
Begin, began, begun. Very good.
Begun.
The past participle of the verb was, were.
Been.
Been, very good. The past participle of the verb came.
Come.
Come, very good. This is come, came, come, right? It's like it repeats on the present tense right? The past participle of the verb did.
Done.
Very good. So it is do. Oh, no, sorry. It is do, did, and done. Excellent. The past participle of the verb drunk.
Drunk.
Drunk, right? With an ooh. Very good. It is drink, drunk, drunk. Very good. The past participle of the verb build.
It's the same.
Excellent. It is the same. In the third, the three tenses are the same, right? Build, build, and build. Very good. And the past participle of the verb brought.
It's the same.
It is the same, right? Brought as well. It is bring, brought, and brought again. Excellent. Very good. So let's go with the second list. We're going to do the same thing, right? First, from the present tense to the past tense. Okay. So the first one, which is drive. What's the past?
Drove.
Right. Drove. Very
Drove.
good. Excellent. Drive, drove. Excellent. Past of eat.
8.
Ate. Very good. Past of fly.
Flew.
Flew. Very good. Past of forget.
Forgot.
Forgot. Very good. Past of get.
Got.
Got. Very good. Past of give.
Gate.
Gave.
Good. Very good. Gave. Past of go.
Went.
Went.
Very good. Past of have.
Had.
Excellent. Had. Past of know.
New.
Excellent. Past of leave.
Left. Left.
Very good. Left, right? Now let's go with the past participle. Past participle of had.
It's the same.
Is the same, right? Had. So it is have, and have. Good. Past participle of got.
Karen.
Gotten, right? Get, got, gotten. Very good. Past participle of ate. Very good. Eat, ate, eaten, right? Past participle of drove.
Driven.
Driven, very good. Drive, drove, driven. Very good. Past participle of left.
It's the same.
Left.
It is the same, very good. So it is leave, left, left. Good. Past participle of went.
Gone.
Gone, right? So it is go, went, and gone. Very good. Oops. Past participle of new.
Known.
Known, right? So it is know, new, and known. Good. Past participle of flew.
Flown.
Flown, right? Fly, flow, flown, flown, I'm sorry. Good. Past participle of forgot.
Forgotten.
Very good. So it is forget, forgot, and forgotten. And finally, past participle of gave.
Given.
Very good. So it is give, gave, given. Very good. You're so intelligent. So we have this order list. And let's see the past of lose.
Lost.
Lost. Very good. Past of make.
Made.
Good. Past of meet.
Meet.
Met. Yes. Met. Very good. Past of ride.
Road.
Rode. Very good. Past of ring.
Rank.
Rank.
Run. Very good. Past of run.
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 Excellent. Past of say.
Say.
Saw, right? Very good. I mean said. Very good. Past of see.
So.
Saw. Very good. Excellent. Past of sell.
Solve.
Very good. Solve. And past of sing.
Sang.
Sang.
Excellent. Sang. Right. Good. So past participle of sang.
Sung.
Sung, right? Very good. So it is sing, sang, sung. Very good. So past participle of met.
Meet.
Met, meet, met, met. It is the same. Very good. Past participle of saw.
Seen.
Said, very seen. Ay, porque los traigo aquí revueltos. Wow. Seen, very good. So it is see, saw, and seen, right? Past participle of lost.
Lost.
Lost, very good. It is the same. So it is lose, lost, and lost. Past participle of said.
Is the same.
too.
Very good. So it is said as well, right? Now past participle of made.
Same.
Same, right? Made. Good. Past participle of wrote.
Ridden.
Very good. So it is write, wrote, written. Very good. Past participle of rung.
Wrong.
Rung. Very good. So it is ring, run, rung. Past participle of run.
Run.
Run. Very good. So it is run, 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 run. Good. Past participle of solve.
Solve.
Excellent. Very good. And finally, we have this last list. The past of seed.
Set.
Good. Sad. The past of sleep.
Slipped.
Very good. Slept. Very good. Speak. The past of speak.
Spoke.
Very good. Spoke. The past. Sorry. The past of stand.
Stood.
Very good. Stood. The past of swim.
Swam.
Swam.
Very good. Swam. The past of take.
Tuck.
Took. Very good. The past of teach. This is difficult.
Thought.
Very good. Taught. Very good. The past of think.
Told.
Very good. Told. The past of think. The past of think.
No sé cómo se pronuncia.
Told.
Thought.
Yeah, very good. Thought. Good. And finally, the past of ride.
Road.
Road.
Excellent, road, right? Now let's go with the past participles. The past participle of told.
The
Told.
same.
Very good, the same, told, right? The past participle of took.
Taken.
Taken.
Excellent, taken. The past participle of rode.
Reading.
Excellent, ridden. The past participle of swam.
Swim.
Good. The past participle of slept.
Slept.
Good. The past participle of spoke.
Spoken.
Excellent. The past participle of sat.
It's the same.
Sat. The past participle of told.
Is the same?
Told, very good. The past participle of taught. Teach, taught. Taught. Past participle, it is.
Tout.
Taught as well, right? And finally, the past participle of stood.
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 Same.
Stood. Very good. So I guess we all know, or mostly we know, the most common list of verbs in past and in past participle, right? So does anyone has problems with the past and past participle? If anyone has any problems, please raise your hand if you have problems with the past and the past participle. No, no one has any problems with the past participles in the past. Very good. So I guess, well, I assume this is just an exercise of remaining, yeah, of what you have already been taught, right? From exercises from verbs, right? Y eso pues solamente te lo vas a aprender pues de memoria. No hay manera más sencilla o diferente de hacerlo, right? Mostly we have some buckets of verbs that change the past and the past participle in the same way, right? Some of them doesn't change at all. Some of them change the A to an U. But the most easy way to learn it is just to memorize them, right? So if you don't know them, please take a look at the list, right? Si no lo sabemos, solamente la única manera es memorizarlos como tal. So let's go into the first lesson that we have for today, which is the present perfect, okay? Does anyone remember what the present perfect is? Or how can we use the present perfect? Okay, probably no one. Does anyone have ever heard about the present perfect? ¿Hemos escuchado about the present perfect? Probably, maybe, not at all. We don't recall it. No? Doesn't ring a bell?
Yes.
I'm sorry? Yes?
Yes.
Yes, we have. Tal vez lo vimos alguna vez en la vida. Maybe. Okay. Let's see. Okay, let's try to remember what the present perfect is about. Okay, raise your hand if you remember if the present perfect it's about the present, talks about the present. Vamos a hacer una encuesta. Levantemos la mano los que pensamos o recordamos que el present perfect habla del presente. Express an idea in present. Okay, good. We have one. Okay, let's raise our hand if we think that the present perfect express an idea in the future. No hands up. Okay. So now, finally, let's raise our hand if we think the present perfect talks about the past. We have 1, 2, 3. Okay, good enough. So at least we have 3 participants, right? Very good. So actually it is, right? The present perfect talks about the past. Okay, so we have here a sentence that says, I have written a book. Okay, this sentence, it is written in the present perfect tense. Okay, esta frase, I have written a book, está hecha o escrita en el presente perfecto, right? So, what are the characteristics of this phrase? What are the components of this phrase? It is a question for you. ¿Cuáles son los componentes de esta frase? Okay, let's see. We have the subject, which is I. Then what else do we have?
Auxiliary, no?
We have an auxiliary, yes, which is which one?
Verb.
El verbo, ¿cuál verbo?
Written, no?
Reading, it is the verb, very good. And which is the auxiliary? ¿Cuál es el auxiliar? Have, very good. So we all know that have can work as an auxiliary or also as a verb, right? Nosotros tenemos el verbo have o el verbo tener that we can use it as a verb or as an auxiliary, right? And in this case, we have the verb have as an auxiliary, right? And then we have the complement, which is a book. Okay, very good. So does anyone know when was the book written? The phrase says, I have written a book. Okay, who can translate this into Spanish?
Yo he escrito un libro.
Very good. So when that happened? When have I written a book? When? Was it yesterday? Was it last month? Last year? When? When that happened? We don't know, right? Actually, we don't know. Okay, the answer is we don't know, or I don't know. Okay, and actually that is the correct answer. Okay, when this happened, we don't know actually. Okay, I have written a book. Okay, this is the present perfect, which expresses something or an action that happened in the past, but we don't know exactly when that happened. So that's the present perfect, an action that happened in the past, but we don't know when that action happened, okay, or when the action took place. So let's go then to the present perfect. And I'm pretty sure that we already know the present perfect, but let's have just a refresh of this, okay? So let's see, and we have these conversations. So we need 2 volunteers to read. We need Peter and we need a Richard. So who wants to be Richard and who wants to be Peter in this conversation? We need 2 volunteers or 2 victims. Anyone? Any volunteer?
I am Peter, teacher.
Okay, you go for Peter. Very
Yes.
good, Manuel. So we need a Richard. Okay, man.
Yeah.
Okay, you go for
Richard.
Richard, Alan. Very good. So, Peter, you start.
Hi, Richard. Guess what? I won the lottery.
Are you serious? How much do you win?
Almost $2,000. I can't believe it.
Lucky you. Have you ever won before?
Yes, I have. Actually, I won several times. What about you?
Oh, I've never go. Eh? He will- I've never gone anything.
Very
Okay.
good. Excellent. Applauses for you. Okay. So, very good. So, let's try to identify where can we see or spot the present perfect. In this conversation, where can we identify the present perfect?
I won the lottery.
I won the lottery. No, that will be most like past tense, simple past tense.
Is have you ever won it before?
Very good. Have you ever won before? Excellent. Then there we have present perfect, right? Because we have the auxiliary have and the verb in past participle, right? So where else can we identify or spot the present perfect? What about I have won several times, right? Because we have the auxiliary have, and again, we have the verb won, right? And finally, we have another one.
I have never won anything.
Excellent. I have never won anything. So there's the present perfect in this conversation. And what is it the conversation about? In Spanish, what is it the conversation about?
Yo nunca he ganado, es la última.
Yeah, but the whole conversation, what is it about? Toda la conversación, ¿de qué se trata?
Acerca de si alguna vez ha ganado la lotería.
Mhm. And what else? Peter asked if Richard asked if Peter have ever won the lottery, right? And Peter say, yes, actually, he have won several times, right? Y la conversación pues se trata pues de que una persona gana la lotería y otra persona le pregunta, oye, ¿no te has ganado tú alguna vez la lotería? Ah, pues fíjate que sí, varias veces, ¿no? Etcétera, ¿no? Y el otro pues no se ha ganado nunca la lotería, okay? So this is the conversation about, no? We use the present perfect to say that an action happened at some time before now, okay? El presente perfecto talks about an action that happened in the past, okay? De una acción que sucedió en el pasado, right? The exact time of the action, it is not known or it's not important. So if we can see in the conversation, they never ask when that happened, when the action happened, okay? Or in our first sentence, I have written a book. We didn't say when that happened, okay? No dijimos cuándo sucedió, okay? So present perfect doesn't really care when the action happened. It focuses only on the action, okay? El presente perfecto no te va a decir cuándo la acción sucedió, solamente se va a enfocar en que la acción haya sucedido, okay? So present perfect talks about an action, an important, let's say in quotations, lo vamos a poner entre comillas, I said in quotations, that it is important, the action, but it doesn't really matter when the action happened, okay? We don't care when the action happened. We just care that the action have happened. Solo nos importa que la acción haya sucedido, pero no nos interesa o no le importa al presente perfecto cuando la acción sucedió. Solamente nos interesa que haya sucedido, okay? So we form or we build the present perfect with the verb have, with the auxiliary verb have, plus the verb in past participle, right? So that's why we have, vamos a formar entonces el presente perfecto con el auxiliar have y con el pasado participio. So that's why we start our session with this exercise changing from present to past participle, right? Por eso empezamos la sesión con el presente, el pasado y el pasado participio, porque pues la finalidad era llegar al presente perfecto, that it's built with the auxiliary have in present, okay, con el auxiliar have en presente, which is have, y el pasado participio del verbo, right? So in this conversation, we have this sentence that says, have you ever won before? And we can spot the auxiliary have, okay? And we can spot as well the verb win that changed to the past participle to won, okay? Win, won, won, right? And also we have this second sentence that we can identify the auxiliary have, but the contraction have, which is, okay, la contracción del have, que es como el VE, right? Plus the verb in past participle that it's won, right? And finally, again, we can spot the auxiliary have plus the verb in past participle, right? Okay, very good. So, okay, problems, questions so far, hasta ahora, preguntas about the present perfect. No? So far, so good. Very good. So let's move on then.
Any question?
Do you have a question?
No.
Okay, very good. Yo tampoco. Okay, so let's move on. We use the present perfect, just as a recap. We use the present perfect for actions that happen in the past, but are important in the present. Okay, to form the present perfect, we use the auxiliary have in present plus the past participle of the main verb. Okay, so we use the auxiliary have in present plus the verb in past participle. For regular verbs, the past participle is the same as in simple past. Para los verbos regulares, el pasado, okay, es igual al pasado participio. And do you remember which are those verbs, those regular verbs? Regular verbs. Which are the regular verbs? No, the regular verbs are those whose in the past, los que en el pasado terminan en ed, right? Those verbs that we can add in past, the ed, los verbos que en el pasado terminan en ed, en past participle también van a terminar en ed, o la terminación es igual. So those verbs remain the same in past than in past participle. For irregular verbs, is need to memorize them. Para los verbos irregulares, pues es necesario memorizarlos, ¿no? Como el pasado, como el verbo swim, right? Which is swim, swam, swum, que es totalmente diferente en los tres tenses, ¿ok? Pero para los regulares, los que terminan en pasado en ed, como walk, ¿okay? Walked, 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 ¿okay? Que terminan en ed, pues terminan en ed en pasado y en pasado participio es exactamente igual, ¿ok? Good. To form the present perfect or to build the present perfect, we use the auxiliary have in present plus the past participle of the main verb. For those verbs, I'm sorry, for those third person, we already know that the verb in present change. Para las terceras personas, el verbo, pues obviamente va a cambiar, ¿no? Since we are using the auxiliary have in present, for those third person, we have to change it to has. Okay? So, she has learned the lesson. Okay, we are using the auxiliary verb have in present plus the main verb in past participle that it is learned, right? So the verb learn, it is learned, in past it is learned, and in past participle as well it is learned, right? Very good. Questions so far? No questions? Okay, so if we don't have any other question, I need you to build a sentence in present perfect. Okay, so who's the brave one who is giving us a sentence in present perfect? And let's write it down on the chat. Vamos a escribirla en el chat. Cada uno vamos a escribir una oración in present perfect en afirmativo, which is as we see in the screen. Es como la estamos viendo en pantalla. I have talked to the teacher. Or she has learned the lesson. Okay, so let's try to build a sentence in present perfect. You can either use any of the persons. Okay, you, they, we, he, it, she, or I. Oh, please write it down on the chat. So Alan says, I'm eating a hamburger.
Is it present?
That one, it is
Present
in present
perfect.
continuous. And you have to build a present perfect sentence, okay? Paul says, I have played video games in my room. Very good. That's present perfect. We can see the auxiliary verb have and the main verb in past participle, which is played, right? I have played video games in my room. Excellent. Who's next? Manuel says, I have been in London for 2 weeks. Excellent. I have, which the auxiliary verb in this case is have, and the past participle of the verb be, it's been, right? So I have been in London for 2 weeks. When? We don't know. Do we care? No, we don't care. I have listened to music before the class. Good. Okay, let me maximize this. Okay, it says, Erika says, I have listened music before the class. Okay, good. The auxiliary is have, the past participle of the member, it's listened, music before the class. Excellent. Miriam says, I have sung with my sister. Very good. The main verb, it is sing, right? So in past, in present perfect, the auxiliary will be have. Okay, so I have Zoom with my sister. Excellent. Alan says, he has played basketball. Very good. He has played basketball. The auxiliary verb with the third person make the concordance, so he used the verb has, right? Play basketball. Good. Emmanuel says, he has played the guitar. Very good. So, very good. Awesome. Is anyone missing? We have 2, we have 8, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Probably we miss someone. Probably we are missing someone. Okay, but let's move on. Let's move on. Let me clear my drawings. Oops. And what does it say? Conjugation of the verb have. Okay, we already know the conjugation of the verb have, which is have for all the persons except for the third person, which is has, right? Good. What else? It says, for the affirmative sentences that we have already done, it is the subject, the auxiliary have, and the past participle. And we already know that, I mean, by this course, we already know that the verb have can make a contraction with have, right? Like the apostrophe VE, or in case of the third person, the apostrophe S, right? To make the contraction. And same case for the rest of the subjects, right? The we, the you, and they, right? Good. So negative sentences, okay? We just need to add the negative word, which is not, to the sentence, right? Which is subject, auxiliary have, plus the negative part, which is not, and the past participle. For instance, I have not talked to Peter, or she has not gone to work, or we have not been in London, or they have not learned English. Okay, so all of them are negative, right? And it's pretty simple the way that we build a negative sentence. Okay, so let's move on then to the questions or interrogative sentences. We already know that all the questions, todas las preguntas, must start with a W question or with a question word. Todas las preguntas deben empezar con una pregunta, con una palabra de pregunta, which are which, how, who, when, etc., right? Or as well as with the auxiliary. O también pueden empezar las preguntas con los auxiliares, okay? Since we are using the present perfect that has the auxiliary have, we have to use the auxiliary at the beginning of the interrogative sentence, right? For example, I talked to Peter? Has she gone to work? Have we been in London? Okay. Or have they learned English? Okay. Entonces, todas las preguntas, o cuando queremos hacer una pregunta, cuando hacemos una pregunta utilizando este tense, el present perfect, pues el auxiliar va al principio de la oración, ¿verdad? Entonces, iniciamos con el auxiliar have, después seguimos con nuestro sujeto, que en este caso es she, we, or they, y luego ya nuestro verbo principal, que es en pasado participio, right? So let's try to build each of us a sentence, an interrogative sentence using the present perfect, as well as in the chat. Vamos a volver a utilizar el chat y vamos a utilizar el presente perfecto en interrogativo, right? So let's try to build a sentence with the present perfect. Let's try to build a question with the present perfect. Okay, who wants to share with us your sentence? ¿Quién nos ayuda con la primera pregunta en presente perfecto? Okay, we have the first one. It says, have they played the piano? Very good, Stefano. Excellent. Has he studied in Japan? Very good, Paul. Have she listened wrong? Hold on there. Okay. Let's see this one, which is interesting, from Erika. Erika, no, it is not Erika, it is Alan, sorry. Alan says, have she listened wrong? There is something awkward in there, Alan. Hay algo raro, hay que pulir esa frase, okay? Look at the rest of the sentences, okay? Erika says, have you ever cooked before? Very good. And Miriam says, has she eaten pizza? Very good, Erika. So Alan, what is it wrong with your sentence? How can we improve your sentence?
I don't know, maybe between listen and wrong.
It is, have she, do we say she have or she has?
Have.
No, has.
Sí,
Because it is a third
pasada.
person, right?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
since it's
my bad.
okay, write it down. Reescríbela, just like to close this sentence, right? Miriam says has she eaten a pizza? Very good. Emmanuel says, has she finished her homework? Very good. And Danny says, has he played soccer? Very good. Excellent. So we did excellent. Good. Very good. So let's move on. I think we have already closed, or I think we already understand what the present perfect means, right? So just like to recap, we use present perfect for actions that happen in the past, but are important in the present, okay? Son acciones que sucedieron en el pasado, que son importantes para algo en el presente, okay? But the exact time we don't know, and we actually don't care, okay? Realmente no nos importa cuándo sucedieron, okay? Solamente nos importa que hayan pasado. Por ejemplo, cuando decimos, ¿alguna vez has ido a X restaurante? Ah, sí, sí he ido. Okay, and that's it. Lo importante es que haya sido, no importa cuándo ha sido. Okay? O cuando decimos, ¿alguna vez has estado enfermo de COVID? Realmente no nos importa cuándo estuviste enfermo, simplemente si has estado o no has estado enfermo. O ¿te has encontrado alguna vez dinero en la calle? A veces cuando de repente surgen preguntas como para romper el hielo, ¿no? Como nada más para hacer alguna plática, una platiquita ahí medio superficial, de que alguna vez has estado en tal situación. Ah, sí, ¿no? Y ya empieza maybe a conversation, right? So we use the present perfect for actions that happen in the past, but are important in the present, but we don't care when that happens, okay? So it says, when the action happened, it is not important. The importance is that has happened. So we don't use specific time expressions such as this morning or yesterday or last year, etc. Instead, we use present perfect with non-specific time expressions such as never, ever, many times, for, since, or already. En lugar de usar expresiones como esta mañana o ayer, utilizamos expresiones que no tienen un punto específico en la línea del tiempo, right? Solamente decimos, nunca he estado en tal restaurante. O alguna vez estuve, ¿no? O sí he estado varias veces. But we don't say exactly when. We don't have a date or a specific date, okay? But, okay, eso de no tenemos una fecha específica, lo vamos a poner entre comillas, ¿sí? Porque podemos decir, he estado viviendo aquí, por ejemplo, ¿okay? Y podemos ya ponerle un año, desde 1990, ¿no? O he sido maestro por 3 años, ¿ok? Entonces, ahí es donde sí podemos utilizar como una fecha un poquito más específica, aunque no importa realmente la fecha en el presente perfecto, ¿ok? So, instead of saying yesterday, this morning, or last year, instead we use non-specific time expressions, such as never, for example, I have never been in Japan, okay? Or I have never won the lottery, okay? So we don't say specific dates, but we can say, or we can use a non-specific time, okay? Such as never, ever, many times, for, since, or already. Due to the reasons, present perfect is not a specific use. I'm sorry. Due to the reason present perfect, it's not that specific, we use it to, como el presente perfecto no es no tiene una fecha como tan específica. Entonces utilizamos el present perfect to describe an experience, not a specific action, but an experience. For example, I have never flown on a plane. Nunca he volado en un avión. O sea, podemos utilizarlo para alguna experiencia que hayamos o que probably no hemos tenido nunca, right? We also use it for change during the time. For example, or for instance, his English has improved a lot this year, ¿no? Cambios que se han realizado durante el pasado o que hemos visto algún development, como algún desarrollo o algún movimiento, pues, algún cambio durante el tiempo en el pasado, como que el inglés de alguna persona ha sido mejorado, right? So his English, in this case, his English has improved a lot this year. Okay? Su inglés ha mejorado mucho este año. We don't say when. We don't say exactly when his English has been improved. We just say that his English has improved a lot this year. Also for achievements, okay? Dan has finished his first book, okay? And what is it an achievement? What's the meaning of achievement?
Logros.
Logros, right? Entonces lo podemos utilizar para algunos logros que se hayan realizado, que no necesariamente tenemos que decir cuándo sucedieron. We don't really care about when the achievement was made. Just Dan has finished his first book this year, probably, right? But we don't care exactly when that happened, o cuándo específicamente en qué fecha fue realizado ese achievement, right? Good. So let's try to practice. Let's try to talk a little bit. Déjame ver si viene aquí. Okay, now we have another 2 reasons to use the present perfect. Also, to express actions that have not happened yet. También para acciones que no han sido terminadas todavía. For example, the plane hasn't arrived yet. Okay, algo que todavía no sucede. Okay? The plane hasn't arrived yet, o que todavía no está completado el proceso. Okay? The actions or actions that have started in the past and continue into the present. For example, I have loved you since the day I met you. Okay? Para acciones que comenzaron en el pasado y que todavía y que no tienen como un punto final. Okay? I have loved you since the day I met you. Te he amado desde el día que te conocí. Entonces es una acción que empezó en el pasado, pues allá como súper lejos en el pasado y que la acción todavía le cuelga, ¿no? O no sabemos cuándo va a terminar. I have loved you since the day I met you. So these are the uses for the present perfect, okay? Specifically, or most common for actions that happen in the past, but we don't know when, or we don't care when, okay? But the action, it's the one that is important, okay? So now let's try to talk a little bit. Vamos a hablar un poquito, and let's try to answer this question. Have you ever traveled to London? For example, let's see, well, one by one. Let me formulate a question for each of you. Vamos a formular una pregunta para cada uno de ustedes. For example, Natalie, oh, I'm sorry, Miriam. Have you ever been in London? Miriam?
Sorry. I have never been to London.
Okay, I have never been in London. Very good. Very good. Okay, Daniela. By your picture, o sea, por tu foto, okay? Have you ever drastically changed your hairstyle?
No, I have never tried to change my hairstyle.
Okay, very good. Okay, Manuel Fajardo. Manuel, have you ever ridden an animal? Ridden an animal? Sorry, riding.
No, I never reading animal.
Okay, not even a horse?
No.
No? Oh. Okay, good. That's fine. Alan, what about you? What sports have you played?
Can you repeat the question?
Yes. What sports have you played?
I was playing football, volleyball, skate, and parkour, and that's it.
Okay, so you have played football and skate. Okay, good, good, very good. Emmanuel, where is the best place you have ever been?
The best praise. Okay, let me think.
Try to use the present perfect. That means using the auxiliary have and the past participle of the verb. Okay, so the question is, where is the best place you have ever been?
I have traveled to Magic Town, maybe.
Okay, where is that Magic Town?
Like Masamitra.
Now I got it. Okay, like Mazamitla and so on. Okay, good. Thank you, Manuel. So, Stefano, what is the craziest thing you have ever done?
Can you repeat, please?
Yes. What is the craziest thing you have ever done?
Maybe like the crisis. I don't know.
Okay, another question. Okay, what interesting foods have you eaten?
Okay. The I don't know. The most interesting food I have ever eaten, it was sushi.
Okay, that's pretty common. I don't think that that could be interesting. What about chopped grasses? Have you ever have you ever eaten chopped grasses? Chapulines?
No.
No.
I have eaten ramen also. Japan food, especially.
Japanese food. Okay, good.
Uh-huh.
So, Paul, who's the greatest person you have ever met?
The best person?
Mm-hmm.
I have met Gerardo Rogero. Is a voice actor of Freezer in Dragon Ball.
Oh, you know, when I was in university, I have met the voice of Goku. He used to be my teacher. He used to be my teacher for the class of like oral skills, como comunicación oral. He used to be my teacher, the voice of Goku. He was a very interesting person. Era una persona muy interesante, la voz de Goku. Y fue mi maestro de, ajá, yeah. Yeah, I know. I was like doing the same expression, like, oh my God, he's Goku.
Mario Castañeda.
Ajá, ajá. That one. Yeah, he's a nice person, by the way. Okay, let's continue with this. Erika, for how long have you studied English? Oh, this is an interesting question. No, forget about that one. Porque todavía no hemos visto el for y el since con el present perfect. So let's move to this other question, Erika. What is the best and worst restaurant you have eaten?
Can you repeat, please?
Yes.
What?
What is the best and the worst restaurant you have ever eaten at?
I have eaten, well, the best that I have eaten is Sushi Factory, because I don't remember the other place, the name of the other place. And the worst place, it has been the Coffee of Cat or something like that. I don't remember the place, but it was awful. Yeah.
Okay. Good. I love Sushi Factory, in fact, as well. I think they have a great menu, and the sushis are like the amount of food, it's good enough, right? Because I hate those restaurants especially those fancy, inexpensive one that serves like mini portions, right? And at the end, I'm still hungry, and no, I hate those fancy and expensive restaurant that serves small amounts. Okay, yeah, the Sushi Factory, they serve enough amount of food. So I love Sushi Factory as well. Good. Thank you, Erika. So let's move on. Let's move on to this other exercise that we have for today. Present perfect. Okay, this is. Okay, good. So let's move and let's continue with the present perfect. And we have another reading. We have another exercise of reading. Okay, so let me share the screen. Here we go. Fortune cookies. And we need how many volunteers? We need 3 volunteers to read the complete text. Okay, necesitamos 3 voluntarios para leer el texto completo. Okay, vamos a leer 3 veces. Okay, so we need the first volunteer to read the complete text. Okay, who wants to volunteer for reading? Okay, no volunteers, victim? Should we take a victim? What about you, Paul? Could you help us to read the text that we have on the screen? Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. Future cookies. Have you ever seen fruit cookies? Have you ever eaten a Chinese restaurant? Fruit cookies are those small sweet cookies that you often have after Chinese food. Inside the cookies is a small piece of paper, which usually has your lucky number and your fortune on it. Like many people, you meeting think they come from China, but but in fact, many Chinese people have never heard of fortune cookies. The habit probably started in Japanese restaurant in San Francisco in the use in the early los números 19th
19th.
and quickly become very popular. When you get the cookie after you have finished it, you put and finish your food. The traditional is to close your eyes and taking one. Then you break the cookie and eat it all before, and you read your fortune. Reading your fortune before you have eaten the cookie is considered it be very unlucky.
Very good. Excellent. So we need another volunteer or victim. Thank you, Paul. You did excellent. Okay, let's take another victim. What about you, Danny? Daniela, what about you? Can I call you Danny?
Yes.
Okay, what about you, Danny? Help us to read it.
Fortune cookies. Have you ever seen a fortune cookies? Have you ever eaten on a Chinese restaurant? Fortune cookies are those small, sweet cookies that you often have after Chinese food. Inside the cookie is a small piece of paper which usually has your lucky numbers and your fortune on it. Like many people, you might think they come from China, but in a factory, many Chinese people have never heard of fortune cookies. The habit probably started in a Japanese restaurant in San Francisco in the US in the early 90s and quickly became very popular. When you get the cookie after you have finished your food, the tradition is to close your eyes and take one. Then you break the cookie and eat it all before you read your fortune. Reading your fortune before you have eaten the cookie is considered it very unlucky.
Excellent. Very good. Thank you, Danny. Finally, just like to recap and get all the information and comprehend the text. One last read. Who can help us to read the third and last time? Don't let me take another victim. Please volunteer yourself. Should we take another victim? Oh, okay. Well, let's take. Let's take. Oh, come on! Don't make me make this. What about you, Miriam?
No. Okay. Fortune cookies. Have you ever seen a future cookie? Have you ever eaten in a Chinese restaurant? Fortune cookies are too small, sweet cookies that you often have after Chinese food. Inside the cookie is a small piece of paper which usually has your lucky numbers and your fortune on it. Like many people, you might think they come from China, but in fact, many Chinese people have never heard of fortune cookies. The habit probably started in a Japanese restaurant in San Francisco in the US in the early 90s and quickly became very popular. When you get the cookie after you have finished your food, the tradition is to close your eyes and take one. Then you break the cookie and eat in all before you read your fortune. Reading your fortune before you have eaten the cookie is considered to be very unlucky.
Very good. Excellent. Thank you very much, Miriam. Okay, so let's try to see if we can identify some unknown words. Let's try to do some vocabulary. Okay, so do we know all the words and vocabulary on the reading, or do we have any questions on vocabulary? Take a look at the reading, at the text, and let me know if there is a word that we don't know or an expression. Okay, no questions? Okay,
No.
what is, I'm sorry?
No,
No?
nothing.
Okay, what is it the meaning of in fact?
De hecho,
Very good. De hecho, right? Es como una expresión que utilizamos para, pues, decir de hecho. La tenemos igual en español, right? What else? I think it's pretty simple, this reading. So let me just read it one more time, one last time, okay? Fortune cookies. Have you ever seen a fortune cookie? Have you ever eaten on a Chinese restaurant? Fortune cookies are those small, sweet cookies that you often have after Chinese food. Inside the cookie is a small piece of paper which usually has your lucky numbers and your fortune on it. Like many people, you might think they come from China, but in fact, many Chinese people have never heard of fortune cookies. The habit probably started in a Japanese restaurant in San Francisco in the US in the early 90s and quickly became very popular. When you get the cookie, after you have finished your food, the tradition is to close your eyes and take one. Then you break the cookie and eat it all before you read your fortune. Reading your fortune before you have eaten the cookie is considered very, be very unlucky. Okay. Me voy a poner un segundo en mute porque va a pasar el tren y hace mucho ruido. Okay, so give me just 1 second. Okay, very good. So let's continue. Who can help us to recap in English, of course? What is that? Oh, yeah, a train. How can you do that? ¿Cómo hacen eso? ¿Cómo ponen otros
The
aquí?
reactions.
Ah, ya ve, quiero ver. Actions. ¿Dónde está eso? Actions. Ah, y hay más.
Yeah, before and more,
Ah.
and we have the all emojis.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay, good. Sorry. Yeah, I live very near from the train. Tal cual vivo aquí en la Minerva y entonces está aquí Avenida Inglaterra, aquí a unos pasos. So the noise of the train, it's really annoying when trying to give a class. But I mean, it's temporary. It just take a couple of seconds, okay? But well, anyway, let's focus on our thing. Who can help us to recap? Alguien que nos ayude a hacer una recapitulación. Who can help us to recap this reading? In your own words, what is the reading about? What do you get from this reading? ¿Qué entendimos de la lectura?
The origin of the fortune cookies.
What else? Where does the fortune cookies are from? I mean, are they from China?
San Francisco, no?
San Francisco.
Some persons think they come from China, algo así, but it's not.
But it's not, right? Very good. Okay. Have you ever seen or eaten a Chinese fortune cookie? It's a question for all of you. Have you ever eaten a Chinese fortune cookie?
No, I don't need.
No.
No?
No.
Why not?
Maybe one time, but I don't remember.
Probably once. Okay. Well, I used to like fortune cookies, especially I take one when I go to Kin. I guess it is called Kin. Bueno, siempre digo Kin. And they sell fortune cookies, and I enjoy to break the cookie and take out of the cookie the paper and read my fortune. I don't really trust in the fortune, but I like to make this ritual or traditional steps to eat the fortune cookie. Okay, let's try to identify and spot all the present perfect sentences that we can see or identify in the reading. Vamos a tratar de identificar todas las oraciones en presente perfecto que tenemos acá. It could be interrogative sentence, or it can be negative sentence or affirmative sentences. So let's try to identify them, all of them. Come on. Let's try to identify them. What about this? Have you ever seen a fortune cookie? That would be the first one, right? Where else?
The next one.
The next one, right? Have you ever eaten on a Chinese restaurant? Very good. Which one? I mean, which other one? What would be the next one? Where else? ¿Dónde más? Where else? Where else? Where else can we identify another present perfect sentence?
And cookie after you have finished your food.
Cookie after. ¿Dónde está? Suena que sí.
Other is Chinese people have never heard of fortune cookies.
Very good. Y estoy tratando de encontrar la anterior. ¿Cómo dices? ¿Dónde está?
Después del punto abajo del popular. when you get the cookie.
Muy bien. Yes. After you have finished your food. Very good. Where else?
And read your fortune before you have eaten the cookie.
You have eaten the cookie. Very good. Excellent. And I think that's all, right? So, as we can identify, those are present perfect sentences, right? Because we can identify or we can spot the auxiliary have in all of them, right? The auxiliary have, Chinese people have, you have, right? And those are our auxiliaries, right? And also we can identify our verb that is in past participle tense, right? Have seen, have eaten, have heard, right? Have finished, and have eaten, right? And all of these sentences doesn't really change, doesn't really say when they have eaten, when they have finished, when they have heard, or when they have seen, right? Ninguno de estos enunciados nos dice cuándo sucedió. Simplemente lo que nos importa y lo que nos vamos a enfocar es que la acción, pues, haya sido realizada, right? Very good. Okay. Questions about the present perfect? No questions? Very good. So let's move on to our final exercise, okay? We're going to make this exercise, and after this exercise, we're going to recap the lesson, and we're going to review if we have any activity for this week, okay? So, make the question and answer it. Ever find 100 bill? Okay, so who can help us to build a question with this sentence? Ever find 100 bill? Of course, in present perfect.
Have you ever find a 100 bill?
I'm sorry, again?
Have you ever find a 100 bill?
Very good, very good. Have you ever found 100 bill?
Phone.
Very good, okay. We're using our auxiliary, right? And also we are changing our verb from present to past participle, right? Very good, excellent, Emmanuel. Now, Emmanuel, answer it. Have you ever found 1,000 bill? I'm sorry, 100 bill?
No, I never found.
Very good.
100.
No or yes, I have never found 1,000 bill, right? Very good, excellent. Next one, ever eat Chinese food? So who can help us to build the question?
Have ever ate Chinese food?
Okay. Have you ever eaten, right, Chinese food? Remember that we need to change our verb from present to past participle, right? Have you ever eaten Chinese food, Alan?
Yes.
Guess what?
Se fue. Yes, I eaten Chinese food.
Yes, I have eaten Chinese food, right? Remember that whenever they ask us, cuando nos pregunten on any given time or tense, cuando nos pregunten en determinado tiempo, hay que contestar en el mismo tiempo, or at least using the same auxiliary. o por lo menos utilizando el mismo auxiliar, ¿ok? Si la pregunta nos viene con el have, la respuesta hay que contestarla también con el have o de preferencia pues con el mismo tipo de enunciado, del mismo tipo de pregunta que nos hicieron. Por ejemplo, en este caso, have you ever eaten Chinese food? Yes, I have. Or no, I have never eaten Chinese food. Or yes, I have eaten Chinese food. Okay, good. Okay, next one. Ever worked in a cafe? Who can help us to build the question?
Have you ever worked in a cafe?
Excellent. Have you ever worked in a cafe? We can spot.
No, I have. No, I have worked in a cafe.
Very good. No, I have not, or no, I have never worked in a cafe. Excellent. Very good. Thank you. Next one. Ever visit another country? Let's go for the question.
Have you ever visited another country?
Very good. Have you ever visited another country? We can spot the past participle of the verb visit and as well the auxiliary, right? And Stefano, have you ever visited another country?
No, I have never visited another country.
Excellent. Very good. Very good. Next one. Next question. I'm sorry. Next sentence says, ever seen an elephant?
Have you ever
Have you
seen an elephant?
Okay. Who was that, Miriam or Danny? I guess it was Miriam. Okay, Miriam, you says, have you ever seen an elephant? Very good. And Miriam, have you ever seen an elephant?
I've never seen one.
Really? You have never seen an elephant? Okay.
I do not think so.
Not even in the zoo?
I don't remember.
Oh my God. You're not the first student that answers, no, I have never seen an elephant. I'm really surprised. Okay, raise your hand if you have never seen an elephant, not even in the zoo. Besides Miriam. This worries me a lot. Esto me preocupa mucho. In fact, I would like to, vamos see. I will like to react. Yeah. Okay. Okay, at least we only have Miriam that have never seen an elephant. The rest of us, we are lucky to go to the zoo, right? Hemos sido muy afortunados de ir al elefante. You should go to the zoo and see an elephant. Those are very special animals. Okay, finally, next one, and the last one. It says, ever watch Ugly Betty? Who can build the question?
Have you ever watched Ugly Betty?
Very good. Have you ever watched Ugly Betty? And have you, Alan?
Maybe one or two episodes.
Okay, probably. Okay. I have never watched.
I have never watched Ugly Betty.
Ugly Betty. I haven't either watched Ugly Betty. They say it's very funny, but no, como que no me llama. Okay, very good. Okay. What is this? I have never won the lottery. No, I haven't. Have you ever won the lottery? Or any raffle? ¿O alguna rifa?
Lo más que he ganado es un cupón de Gamesa, de los Funky Punkies.
Okay. Have you ever won something? ¿Alguna vez han ganado algo?
Yes, in the I don't remember how to say casino, but yes.
Huh? Okay.
I won.
Where? ¿En dónde? ¿En cuál casino?
And in Royal, well, where Royal Lions, I think is the name. But
Twin Lions?
yes. I
Oh.
won 8,000.
Whoa.
Yes.
Wow. Well, congratulations. Very good. No, I haven't ever won nothing, I guess, not even on a raffle. Ni siquiera en estas rifas que hacen de así de poquitos números, no, ni en eso gano. I'm very unlucky on raffles, but whatever. Okay, well, let's close our session, and let's say that our next session will be on tomorrow, I guess. I guess we have another session tomorrow. Tenemos otra sesión mañana at the same time, 11 in the morning. And we don't have any activity for tomorrow. No tenemos ninguna actividad para mañana. And I guess we don't have yet uploaded the course, right? Well, at least not on my platform is being shown. No sé si en su plataforma ya les aparece el curso, en la mía todavía no. ¿Alguien ya lo tiene cargado?
No.
No, tampoco.
Por 3.
Okay, so let me write to our coordinator and see if we can have the course this week. Y bueno, no, como no tenemos ninguna plataforma, no tenemos el curso, pues no tenemos actividad para esta semana. Y bueno, ya la próxima semana empezaremos con entregas y actividades. Okay, thank you very much for joining. See you tomorrow and have a nice rest of the day. Okay, muchas gracias por conectarse. Nos vemos mañana a las 11.